Okay, so what is up, guys? Update on some progress here. So we got the heat shield placed and JB welded in with high heat JB weld. I'll show you what that looks like real quick. Or excuse me, extreme heat JB weld. So that stuff's hard to find. I ended up having to buy it on Amazon. Shipped same day, which was awesome. So it got here the same day. So the heat shield's welded in place with high heat JB weld. I got the new gas burner tubes installed. And then we got the new grease plates installed and tested everything, and everything works except for the rotisserie burner. I honestly think that that IR panel may be dead. The one that like basically brings the gas and heats up and all that stuff, that white thing. I'll show it to you in a second, but they're like $100. I don't think I'm gonna replace it. Maybe in the future, but not right now. So let's take a look at what we did, check out the new parts, and I'll show you how everything works. So here's the heat shield, and you can see the JB weld there, and I just covered up the little tabs as much as I could. That thing is not going anywhere. These are the new gas tubes. These are the new valves, right? The igniters and the valves. And then here's the shields that these come out so you can clean them. And we'll just go ahead and yes. Woo. 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 We have flames. Yes. We have flames. All right, so all that works. The heat shields, so these, the way that these go in is whenever you have your front panel here loose, you take these, here, let's touch one that isn't hot, and you slide them in to the gas valve. There's a little valve that sticks out, a little nipple that fits inside this tube that fills this with gas. And then you can see back here, there's a little slot. They only go in one way. And you just slide them in and they just kind of hang out loose like that. I mean, you can set them back however you want it. That's all there really is to it. And then these just sit on those little grooves, just like that. The little grooves back here. And then the two up front. Boom, there you go. Now I'm not gonna clean the grates, not like scrub them down like I did everything else, because those are seasoned. So I want to leave them with some of the goodness on there. So what we're gonna do now, oh, I forgot to tell you, I've been painting the hood. I think it's actually a brighter green than I anticipated. It's probably way brighter than a big green egg. But I don't really hate it, so I'm on my second coat of paint. Here's what it looks like. Oh yeah, looking good. And I'm just kind of sanding it with a 600 grit, getting it smooth between coats. And I'm thinking probably 2 more coats and then this thing will be done. And then we'll just let it cure for a couple days. All right, and here's the hardware. All the hardware's done. So those are the handles. Here's the front handle holders. There's the Ducane logo. And then we got around here somewhere, we got the wooden handle. So the wooden handle is going to be replacing the metal one like that on the front. So like I said, we still got to stain this, make it look all pretty and weatherproof it and all that stuff. Yeah, then we'll be about done. The side burner does work. So open that up. Side burner. There we go. Heat. You probably can't see the flame, but I promise you it's on and it's hot. So, gonna spray paint that again, add another coat, and then we'll start putting the hardware back on, the handle for that and the handle for the 2 front doors. This video is already really long. I probably won't make y'all sit through that. It'd be really boring. It's probably already a really boring video, but I don't know. It's what I wanted to make, so you like it or you don't, doesn't matter to me. All right, we'll see you in a minute. So just remember, I don't think I told you guys how to take apart the heat indicator, the thermometer. So this thing's super simple. All you do is you push these 2 little tabs up, and then you take this metal bar out on both sides. You just pry it up with a flathead, and then move those out, and then the whole thing just comes apart. And that allowed me to get in there and clean this thing up. And this is actually etched on the bottom right here, the the glass right there across the bottom. It's etched, so I couldn't actually get that off, but other than that, it looks really good. I'll paint it up black to match the rest of the hardware. We're just waiting on paint to dry. I went and got some different color stain. I've got pecan and classic oak. So let's see what these colors look like on the wood handle. See if they get that light color that I'm looking for. They were both on sale, $2 a piece. Pretty good deal at Home Depot. Normally I think they're like $9 a piece, so I guess they were rejects. Somebody didn't like the color. Their loss is my gain. I don't know if you're supposed to shake stain or not, but I'm gonna shake them anyway. So that one is classic oak. I'm gonna be honest with you. It didn't really change the color of the wood at all. I mean, it darkened it a little bit, but not much. Let's see what old pecan looks like. All right, so I think we have a winner. I think it's going to be the pecan color. It's dark, but not overly dark, so you're still seeing a little bit of the wood. I really like the way the color looks. So there you can kind of see, that's the pecan, that's the natural wood. And then down here was the classic oak. You can't even really tell. Pecan's the winner. All right, let's stain our handle and get that out of the way. Okay, so for the handle, so I can stain it, is I just put a screw in the bottom there. And I drilled a pilot hole first so it didn't crack the wood. And then I just put a screw in there. And that's gonna allow me to stick it in the vise and kind of hold it up so that it's off the vise and I can paint all the way around it and paint the whole thing at once without having to do it in steps. So we'll be able to paint the whole thing. Okay, so for this, I'm just using a little sponge, just going directly in the can. You're gonna want to do this in a well-ventilated area because this stuff has got the polyurethane mixed in with it. So it's going to stain and coat at the same time. All right, I gotta move y'all, get around the backside. All right, so there's the first coat. I'm gonna let that dry. Well, let's go take a look at the hood because we're getting close to being done with that. All right, so here's the green hood, and the sun's catching it real weird right here. It does have a gloss finish to it, but you can see I'm getting like the lines in here from the spray paint, which I hate. Really hate the way that looks. So I bought some special clear coat that I'm gonna show y'all here in a minute to cover this. I think we're gonna need to try something I saw online that said if you use a Scotch-Brite pad real lightly, that it'll help it. It acts like a real fine sandpaper, like even more than my 600 that I've been using, to kind of get some of the lines and the swirls and the texturing out of this before we put our final coat on. All right, so I did half of it with the Scotch-Brite pad, and it definitely knocked out the lines and like the grittiness that was coming off of the spray paint coat that I had on there. I'll show you what it looks like. So here you can see there's the line where I stopped, and this is the side that I've done with the Scotch-Brite pad, and this is the side I haven't done. Let's see if it's better from this angle. So what I don't know is, do I clear coat over this or do I not clear coat over this? Like, do I need another coat of paint before I clear coat? Because I don't want it to be dull like this once I clear coat. I want the color to come through. I want it to be like a deep, rich green, you know? I don't know. I'm about to research it, but I'm gonna Scotch-Brite this whole thing. I'm just going in small little circles like this, and real light pressure, not a lot of pressure, because I'm not trying to sand it. I'm just trying to knock down that weird texture that's on the front. All right, what is going on, guys? Today is the final day of painting and clear coat. I'm really excited. I'm a little bit nervous. So what we're gonna do is, we've got this thing, I wet sanded it again just to make sure there was no bumps. I found a couple little things that I wanted to get out. So I went ahead and wet sanded it. We're gonna hit it with 3 coats of paint of the Krylon. Okay, we're gonna do like a 10-minute cure between coats, 3 coats of that. Then we're gonna do 3 coats of Spray Max 2K Clear Glamour. This stuff they use for auto finishing, for just like rattle can auto stuff. It creates a really hard surface, scratch resistant, should last a long time, and it's really glossy and looks really nice when it's done. So I've read some things on the internet that say you're not supposed to mix Krylon with the Spray Max or Rust-Oleum with the Spray Max, but I also watched some YouTube videos, of course, the all-knowing great YouTube, where it showed how to do it. And if you do it quickly and you don't let stuff dry, then supposedly it'll cure correctly and everything will be fine. So that's what we're going to go for today. Oh, pray for me that this works, because if not, then I'm going to have to sand this whole thing down and we won't be repainting it. It'll be a stainless steel hood if this doesn't work. Fingers crossed. Fingers freaking crossed. So, cleaned out the garage a little bit, made some room, picked up a little. We're going to keep the door closed. There won't be any wind, won't be any debris flying around. So hopefully we get the best possible results out of this. So, without further ado, let's get started. So we're going with the mask since we're painting on the inside of the building here. I don't want to breathe this crap in. All right, that's the first coat. We're gonna let that dry for 10 minutes, then we'll go for coat 2. So I should probably mention that before I did that first coat, I degreased the whole thing and I didn't touch it with my bare hands after that. So I made sure I got any fingerprints off of it, any oil from my hands completely off of it with degreaser. All right, it's been 10 minutes. Let's go coat number 2. All right, see y'all in 10 minutes. All right, it's been 10 minutes. Let's do coat 3. All right, so that's coat 3, and the next coat will be the clear coat, the Spray Max 2K that I showed you. We're gonna wait 15 minutes for the third coat to, I guess, flash off and release some of its fumes off of the top of it from what I was watching online. And that'll give it the right amount of time to dry but not over dry. And then we'll spray the 2K, and then we'll do 3 coats of 2K, and I'll take you along for that as well. So for the 2K, Spray Max 2K, the recommendations that I saw from the guys getting good results on YouTube was to shake this for 2 minutes, and then you take this red top off right here, and you stick it in the bottom, and you hit it real hard, and it releases the hardening agent into the can. And then you shake this for another 2 minutes to mix the hardening agent with the urethane. And that's what really makes it a great clear coat. All right, I've been shaking. I activated the catalyst on the bottom here. Pray for me. Let's put on a little clear coat. Keep your fingers crossed, everything goes well. Also, this nozzle right here, you can twist it so that it either fans like this or it fans like that. I want mine to fan like this. You have to wear a mask when you use this stuff. Do not spray it anywhere around you unless you have a mask on. All right, see you in 5 minutes. All right, 5 minutes is up. Let's go coat number 2. See y'all in 5 minutes. All right, guys. Third and final coat. This one we're gonna go a little slower, put it on a little thicker, and then we'll let it dry for 24 hours. Right now, I don't like the way it looks. When I catch it in the light, I don't like the way it looks. Maybe I'll like it more whenever it's like dry and I can actually look at it, but fingers crossed it comes out shiny and pretty. All right, so that's 3 coats. I went ahead and just burned the whole can. Used all of it. Nice thick coat for that last coat. Now we just wait. 24 hours, we'll see how it looks in 24 hours. Man, I really hope it looks good. It looks really bad right now. It looks like orange peel and like, I mean, I was expecting a little bit of orange peel, but I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic. I gotta let the garage air out, man. Holy crap, look at this. Can y'all see the haze? Woo! You do not want to breathe that stuff in. That is bad for you. You will be coated your lungs. You might get really high too. All right, I'm gonna wait 24 hours for y'all. It'll be like that. Okay, it's been 24 hours. Let's see what she looks like. Not gonna lie to y'all. I've already kind of taken a peek at it, and it looks pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect, right? Like, I don't know. Let's look at it. Here we go. All right, not too shabby. Nice and glossy. Look at that. Look at the mirror finish on this. Look at that. You can see my hand. There am I. Yeah, not bad. Not bad, Spray Max. Came out really nice. It has orange peel, which if I wanted to, I could take this, hit it with 800 grit, then 1500 grit, then 2000 grit, 3000 grit, and sand it and sand it and sand it, and then buff it and cut it and polish it like you would a car. Ain't nobody got time for that. But I'm really happy with the results. So today, what we're gonna do, I think, is final freaking assembly. Are y'all ready? Let's get this freaking thing done. I know this is a long ass video. All right, let's do it. Okay, first things first, we have to finish the handle. It's already sealed and stained. Y'all saw me stain it. I put it inside of the handle holders, and I marked where the holes need to go, where the screws need to go to hold it in place. As you can see right here and right there. And I picked the outward facing grain that I wanted because I didn't really want this dark to show right here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I didn't want that to show. So I rotated it around until I found a grain that I liked. So what we're going to do is we're going to drill some pilot holes in either end for the screws. And I've got the screws out here, and I went ahead and painted them black to match. So you can see little black screws, and these are the little weird bolts that hold the lid on. They've been drying. All right, let's drill our little pilot holes. Gotta be real careful with that. You don't want to go all the way through. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the handle end caps on the wood. And I'm just gonna do this by hand. I don't want to do it with a drill. Just take my time, make sure they go in there and nothing gets scratched or jacked up. You don't want to repaint this stuff. All right, there she is. The front handle to our grill. Oh, that's nice. Sits flat. All right, let's move the hood out here where we can work on it. Okay, so the first part we're gonna put back on is gonna be the thermostat. And so the thermostat will sit on the outside, the underside, like this. These two screw heads come through these two holes right here, and then you have this plate that fits back over it. The screws come through there, the thermostat comes through here, and you have a couple of nuts that you tighten down on it. So that's what we're going to do first. So as you can see, I put a towel down to kind of protect the finish that we worked so hard on. Really important, you don't want to scratch anything. So the thermostat fits right under here. Then you got your cover plate. Hope you bagged your hardware. That was a test of my patience. So those screws, they spin on themselves. There's nothing locking it down on the back side, the thermostat side. So I had to grab it with a pair of needle nose and get a tiny 11/32 wrench and tighten it down manually. Couldn't use the ratchet until the very end. All right, next, let's do the logo. Was kind of a tight fit with the layers of paint on there, but you can see the little prong sticking through right there. Scraped off a little bit of the paint, but it's being covered by the logo itself, so I'm not real worried about it. So for that, it doesn't get any screws. It gets these little square, I don't know what they're called, they're like a retaining clip. Let me show you what they look like. Okay, so that's the old one. And these are the two new ones that I bought at the hardware store. I had to go to a special hardware store to find these. They weren't, I don't think Home Depot or Lowe's will carry them. So there you go, two new ones. You can probably find them on Amazon. That's what they look like. All right, so we got those on, and all I did was apply pressure from the back side, the painted side, and then pushed them down onto the pegs with a pair of needle nose pliers like that. I just applied pressure downward until they went all the way flush with the base metal down here. Pretty simple, just take your time. Don't rush, you don't want to scratch anything. That's what I keep telling myself. All right guys, so it turns out that I was not done painting. The painting just goes on and on. There's these little discs that go with the handle. They're like little pads, but they're not soft, like spacers. And they show on the outside, and they were real faded, so I had to paint them black. So I'm waiting like an hour for them to dry, so here we are. No time for you, an hour for me. Anyway, these go, I'm gonna show you real quick. These will go like this on the back side of these and against the front of the hood right here. All right, let's install the last piece on the hood. All right, so you got your bolts. Holy crap, guys. It looks really good. Check it out. What? Yeah. The paint isn't perfect, but we knew that to get from the get-go, right? That it wasn't going to be perfect. Because I'm not a professional painter, and we didn't have a professional paint booth or any of that stuff, but I really freaking love it. So let's get the hood put back on the actual grill. Full tear down. This has been a long project. Like, this video is probably like 3 weeks worth of work to get this thing torn down, cleaned up, and put back together. I'm gonna polish it with some stainless steel polish, and then we'll take a closer look at it. Okay, she's all shined up and pretty. I forgot to wipe the handles off. I used some stainless steel polish on the stainless steel parts. And I know I said from the beginning that I was gonna paint the whole thing. I can't even tell you how much of a freaking hassle that would have been. So it has swirl marks where I sanded it and all that stuff, but I honestly don't care. I think it looks pretty good. So let's take a look at it. So like I said, we left the grates, put all new internals in it, all new jets, repainted our handles black, polished everything up so it's nice and shiny, cleaned all the interior off, knocked off anything we could on the inside, got the rotisserie back, knocked the rust off of that. The rotisserie burner does work in the back. I checked that. The motor still works, so that's pretty awesome. All right, so let's see how she looks. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, I'm in love. I'll add a scene of me cooking some righteous steaks on this here in just a minute. Maybe right here. Okay. Anyway, if you're still watching, thank you very much for the view. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully this helps somebody out there figure out how to take apart some part of their old Ducane grill, and hopefully it shows you that not everything that you think is trash. Sometimes you have something perfectly good like this that you can still use. All you gotta do is put a little time and effort into it, and it comes right back to life. So with that said, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to check out reflexred.com. We got lots of cool stuff on there, some t-shirts and hats and whatnot, some shirts that you've seen me wear. But yeah, other than that, we'll see you next time. Thanks.